The notion of self changes with age. So as you get older, how you look at yourself changes. So what you learn, what you do, how you build is going to affect how you look at yourself as you grow. Self build up. You want to build yourself up positively.
Chris Nice Beats.
Mr. Focus, right? We building. So you see the economy is you see the economy is changing. Definitely, like we see the economy is changing. We see so definitely that's key. The economy is changing. So remember that the economy is changing. The way the way what was needed, the work ethics and the job descriptions from back in the days is going to change. That's clear. We see that. Right? We see Tesla already coming out with the electrical CDL truck. Right? It's going for $15,000. Right? You see the smart cars. You see how the world is becoming more technologically advanced. But now that goes back to math. When you want to understand engineering, you want to understand problem solving, you want to understand critical thinking, it's going to go into engineering, software development, technology development, civil engineering, right? Architectural structure, digital real estate. Like these are the jobs and careers that are going to take off. But now, what does that have to do with your child? Because if we're getting older, so a way of thinking and a way of life, they can't. It's not gonna be. You can't take that away from their parents. Like you already have your own way of thinking. You already have your own notion of self. You already understand what is it you want to do and what you want to do with your life. But what you don't understand is as we age and as the world changes and as the world grows older, your children they're gonna become teenagers. They're gonna become adults. How do you prepare them? How do you prepare a child for a world that you've never seen before? How do you prepare a child for a society that you've never been in? Like you're in the society right now, but the way the society is going to be 20 years from now, you don't know how it's going to be. You don't even know if you're going to be alive to see it. But you're not going to take the time out and prepare your child for this new world that's coming upon us, right? The new way of the new money system, the new financial system. Now the banks haven't tackled cryptocurrency yet. That's the only reason you're still able to use the cash system that we're using now. That's the only reason we're still able to use it, because the banks they're still not sure and they're still not 100% secure on how they're gonna use digital currency. That's the fact. It's key. So I definitely want you to keep that in mind. The banks haven't used it. The banks are not using cryptocurrency yet. The banks are not using digital currency yet. They're not using that platform yet because there's a lot of security risks. So it's okay right now. We're going to be making money, whether you're buying real estate or you got your 401k, you got your Roth IRA, you got your individual retirement account, so on and so forth. Yeah, all right. You got your Vanguard account, but understand all that's going to change. You understand? Look how prominent cash used to be, paper cash. But now look how prominent credit cards and debit cards, right? Apple Pay, Google Pay. Slowly and surely you see the needs for certain things diminishing, right? Buying online, buying food online, Amazon bought Whole Food. So you see that as time goes on, there's things that's no longer needed. Remember the cell phone? Remember the house phone? We used to have to spin it to call the person? right? And then what happened slowly from there? Then you had the phone where you could leave a voicemail. So now whoever needed you, they would leave a voicemail, and you would have to wait till you get home, get all the messages, write down all the notes you needed, and then prepare for the next day. Remember, that's not needed no more. Remember cassettes? Who uses cassettes anymore? Who uses CD players anymore? So look how easily you don't see how even though phenomenal things are invented, even though there's phenomenal inventions that help us in the day and age that we living in, but as time went on growing up, these inventions slowly declined and they diminished and they were not needed no more. Remember when Yahoo first came out? That was the first search engine, Yahoo. And now you got Bing, you got Google, AskJeeves.com. You got so many avenues and platforms to gain information from. So what happened? So the paramount necessity of Yahoo diminished. When you have children, you have to prepare them for their future. You can't teach your child, okay, this is how I'm living, this is how I see life. That's how you see life. But when they get older, they're not going to see life the way you saw it, especially if you came from trauma. Because remember, we was born from parents that didn't have it all together, right? You was taught how to cook, how to clean, got to listen to your mother, sit up straight, eat with the fork and the knife. But you didn't learn about generational wealth. You didn't learn about the economical structure of the society we're living in. You ain't understand social studies. You had a problem with math. So you didn't learn about the things that you didn't learn that no matter how bad of a day you're having, you still got to go to work. You didn't understand that you have to pay back that credit card. Some people have, but majority of us grew up in that generation just learning the basics, just necessities of just the basic necessities, how to cook, how to clean. And you was always told, go to school to be a doctor, go to school to be a lawyer, go to school to be an engineer. And it's like we was told nothing else. So now when you was in school and you didn't become an engineer or you didn't become a teacher, you felt bad about that. Because you was like, damn, I ain't become a doctor, I ain't become an engineer. But there was so many other ways to be successful. So mind you, 18 and college is not for you. But you're forcing yourself to stay in college because that's all you've been told. Go to college, get a degree. But now you're 34, right? You're 30 years old. What you noticing? There are so many avenues and so many ways to make money that you did not need a degree. So you got to teach your child that you got to, first and foremost, is necessary to teach your children math. You got to teach them critical thinking. You got to bring that back. Remember, go back in the day for the hibiscus, right? Look at the ancient mathematical methods that was always used. Mathematics is so important that you teach your kids that, right? You're teaching them mathematics. You're teaching them algorithms, right? Algorithms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, that's mathematical calculations. Algorithms that the computer realizing what you do the most. What's that called? A pattern. Where do you learn patterns from? Math. Math teach you patterns. Square, circle, triangle. Square, circle, triangle. You say that enough, your child gonna do what? Square, circle, triangle. Remember, the mind is like a computer. You train that computer constantly. So imagine training your child. Square, circle, triangle. 1. Square, circle, triangle. 2. Square, circle, triangle. 3. Square, circle, triangle. Thank you. You already knew it was 4. Why? Because you understood the pattern. That's what the algorithm is. It's teaching the computer, okay, this person goes Netflix, then this person watches Netflix and he watches sports. Then he watches YouTube and he watches ESPN. Then he goes on Google searches and he's doing homework. So now the algorithm knows that, okay, if you're looking at tutors, send it to his phone because he's doing homework. And if you got basketball players who got interviews, send it to his phone because he's interested in, he does sports, ESPN homework. Sports, ESPN homework. So what you're going to send him? Sports updates, articles on sports, homework, tutors, and even opportunities to go to further his education. So you might get solicited with opportunities to go back to school. So look what I'm showing you is algorithm. That's mathematics. Look at coding. When you look at a computer, if you ever go on Amazon, there's an option. On YouTube, there's options where you can look at the coding systems for every video that's played on YouTube. When you go on those videos, you're gonna see codes. You're gonna see numbers. You're gonna see algebra, you're gonna see GXY 246 HTT dot //478 dot. You're gonna see codes, but what are those numbers and letters? What do you learn how numbers and letters can come together to create solutions from problems? Algebra. 5x plus 4x equals 37. Right? Then you put the fraction under it. You start canceling out the x. You start bringing the numbers together. You start merging it. Mathematics. Patterns. You wake up in the morning. You brush your teeth. You're thankful for your day. You brush your teeth. Make your bed. Make your breakfast. Do a little stretch. Do a little exercise. Go to work. You go to work. You do this. You do that. Patterns. But what happens where you're in a relationship? You're in love, and that person you love breaks your heart the night before, and your pattern get broken up. Now you wake up depressed. How do you keep that pattern going? Your heart was just broken. You just find out the person that you thought you loved don't love you the way you love them. Do you quit your job right then and there? Like, what do you? It's a pattern now. Critical thinking. That's a critical situation. It's crucial. Your heart is emotionally hurt. It's crucial now. So that's what we're doing. See, that's what we're doing with the self-build-up program. We're teaching parents how to teach their children so we can so your child don't grow up blaming you for them being not successful. Because it is us to blame. You won't be able to see it, but I had it right. The cause and effect syndrome. What is the cause of a child not having no education? Lack of parenting, lack of guidance, lack of direction, lack of studying. Remember, what is information supposed to do? It's supposed to direct you, and it's supposed to guide you. That's what information does. It guides you. So are you informing your child about tomorrow? Because remember, before your child was 10, you was 10. Before your child was 20, you was 20. Before your child was 30, you was 30. So before your child can reach any age or any milestone, you have already been there. So you know the struggles of being 12. You know the struggles of puberty. You know the struggles of sexual arousement. You know the struggle of being heartbroken. You know the struggle of having a difficult time learning, having a difficult time reading. Are you informing your child how they are going to be able to overcome that? That's the self-build-up breakthrough. How do you teach your child to actually have that breakthrough? So what's the moral of this topic? What's the moral of this video? And what I'm displaying is showing you that we need to prepare our child for it. We need to prepare our children for the future. We need to prepare them for the new world that's going to come upon them. You got to educate your children. They need to be educated in math. They need to learn how the basics. Like, they need to learn how to write. They need to read 30 minutes a day. Give them math problems 30 minutes a day. That's 1 hour out the day that you challenge their thinking. Everything else you do after that, okay, you can teach them the human body, the season and the weather, the periodic table. Those formulas are good too. Carbon dioxide, oxide, potassium, so on and so forth. The periodic table, the solar system, even letting them know the parts of speech. I have these in my classroom. For the parts of speech, the weather, the calendar, time, money. It's so much. And even getting into physics, man. I encourage parents to tap into physics. Not, you're not gonna understand all the formulas. It's difficult, but tap into some physics, man. Tap into some physics. Tap into some language arts, world history. You want to get into this. You want to get into world history. You want to know about the history of the world, so you won't repeat those mistakes from the past. Emergency. I got an emergency medical technician book. You want to learn CPR. You want to learn basic functions of the heart, of the lungs, of the mind, right? You want to understand that, like what's heart failure? What's COPD? And so what is asthma, right? Asthma is the spasms of the lungs. So what's going on? Why is it that the heart is not expanding expanding and dilating the way it's supposed to? Why? These answers are, social psychology, social development. I recommend the Reading Street book. I recommend that, going back into reading, right? Going back to the reading, like, I got the computer right here, but it doesn't hurt to go to the dictionary, right? Does it? I want to get this word for you guys. This word development, right? So sometimes we look at the word development, and you might have your understanding, but did you ever look up the word development? Because what it is, a lot of people define words based upon experience. But if you really want to look at the word development, right? And look, it wasn't even that long, right? Look at the video, it wasn't even that long, but development. The act, process, or result of developing, right? The state of being developed, right? So that's development. Then I'm going to look up the word develop. Develop is to set forth or make clear, right? To make visible or manifest, right? When you want to manifest your dreams or manifest who you are, you need to develop. You need to develop, right? To create or produce growth. Look at that. To cause to unfold gradually. So develop is not something that's going to happen overnight. But look at the definitions. To create or produce. That's development. Right? To expand. To grow gradually. To evolve. Evolution into successful states or successive changes. Look, right here, this dictionary. Google won't go deep like that. I'll go on Google right now. That's why you want to use it. You want to go back to the dictionaries. Dictionaries are good, right? Define. Now, granted, you'll find it fast, but look, develop. To grow or cause to grow and become more mature, advance, or elaborate. But it's not giving you to make visible or manifest, to treat with an agent, to cause the appearance of color, to elaborate a musical idea about a working out of rhythmic and harmonic changes in the theme, to create, to produce, to rise. Come on. So you're gonna expand your mind more when you read. The more you read, the more brain capacity you gain, the more storage. So the more information you're gonna be able to put in. So definitely, yes. So definitely, self build up, right? It's Mr. Focus, self build up. Get your own bricks. Anything you need is within yourself. Tune in. Got more videos. I got the podcast on Anchor, self build up. Cash App, building fathers. Gifted platform on Facebook. Mr. Build Up on TikTok. Mr. Self Build Up on Instagram. Follow, support, show your love. I got a plethora of information that I'm ready to share. Subscribe to the video and get ready to learn some more. Mr. Build Up, Self Build. Let's do this together. It takes a village to raise a child. One more quote. If we cross the river together, the crocodile won't bite you. So we got to do this together. It takes a village to raise a child. Self Build Up. Get your own brother.